The dog blocked the back door every time the toddler walked toward it. They thought it was a game. The pool gate had been open for 3 hours. Bo was a 2-year-old Great Pyrenees, 120 pounds of white fur and unmovable intention. The kind of dog that people described as a wall when he decided not to move. He had come into the Marchetti household as a puppy and had grown up in a Florida house with a pool in the backyard that the family had gated carefully from the beginning. Understanding exactly what an ungated pool and a 2-year-old named Julia meant in proximity. The gate had a self-latching mechanism that the installation contractor described as industry standard. It was spring-loaded, designed to swing closed and click into position automatically. It had worked correctly for 8 months. On the Tuesday in August that this story takes place, a delivery driver cut through the side yard, as delivery drivers sometimes did, and went through the pool gate to place a package near the back door. Instead of walking around to the front of the house, he set the package down. He did not look at the gate when he left. The latch did not catch. Julia went down for her afternoon nap at 1 o'clock. She woke at 3:15, which was her usual time, and was placed on the playroom floor while her father Marco began the routine of afternoon snack preparation in the kitchen. Bo was in the kitchen with Marco, which was also his usual position during snack time. He crossed the kitchen to the back door at 3:22. Julia was walking toward the back door from the playroom, not running, not urgent, the particular purposeful toddle of a 2-year-old who had decided where she was going and was going there. Bo moved past Marco and placed himself at the back door, chest forward, body sideways, across the threshold. Julia reached the door. Bo did not move. She pushed against him. He held position. Marco looked over from the counter. He said, "Bo, out of the way." Bo looked at Marco and did not move. Marco walked over and took Bo's collar and moved him to the side, gently but firmly, the practice motion of a father who has been living with a 120-pound dog for 2 years. He opened the back door. Julia stepped forward. Bo went past them both, not slowly, not exploring, a specific purposeful run, straight across the yard to the left corner where the pool gate was, and he stood there barking. Not his attention bark, something below that, something that Marco had never heard before in 2 years. Marco stepped outside. He saw Bo at the pool gate. He saw the gate at an angle that was not closed. He crossed the yard in a run and pushed the gate shut and heard the latch click and stood there for a moment with his hand on the gatepost. Julia was behind him, still in the doorway of the house, watching Bo bark. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you are in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. He stood at the pool gate for a while after that. The pool was still, blue, ordinary looking. The deck was warm from the afternoon sun. It looked like every other afternoon. He thought about Julia's schedule. Wake from nap, head for back door, which she did every day, which she had been doing since she learned to walk, and which he had been counting on the gate to intercept. He thought about how fast the toddler can cover yard. He thought about water. He called his wife Sonia from the pool deck. He stood there while the phone rang and looked at the still blue water and thought about Bo crossing the kitchen at 3:22 and positioning himself at the back door before Julia had made it from the playroom. Sonia asked what happened. He said, the pool gate was open. She asked how he found out. He said, Bo was already at the door when she got there. Great Pyrenees were bred as livestock guardian dogs, working the mountain passes of the Pyrenees range for centuries with the specific mandate of identifying and blocking access to danger. The behavior is not trained into them. It is genetic architecture, an alert system that reads the environment for threat and positions the animal's body between the thing it guards and the thing that will harm it. Bo had moved to the door before Julia reached it. He had registered the open gate from inside the house, from the ambient information available to him, the changed sound of the yard, the altered air current through the unlatched gap, possibly the scent signature of the unsecured pool deck at a temperature and humidity that differed from the sealed yard of every other afternoon. He had not been playing a game at the door. He had been the latch that had already closed. Has your dog ever done something you couldn't explain until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Marco replaced the pool gate the following week with a double latch model that required 2 separate actions to open. He put a note on the front door that said, "Deliveries to front porch only. No side yard access." He kept both things in place, because both things mattered. But he also thought about the third layer of protection that he had not installed, and had not purchased, and that had, on a Tuesday afternoon in August, been the only one that worked. Julia found Bo in the kitchen when they came inside. She walked into his side and leaned on him the way she always did, her face against his white fur. He stood still under her weight. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Marco sat on the kitchen floor beside both of them for a while. He didn't say anything. Bo leaned against him in that way that large dogs lean, with all their weight, unhurried, committed. Outside, the pool sat still and blue in the afternoon light, behind a gate that was now properly closed. Inside, the toddler had fallen asleep against the dog's side, one hand in his fur, the way she always fell asleep when he let her. He always let her. Come back tomorrow. A story about a dog who stayed awake every night his family didn't know they needed him to.